Welcome back. This is your final exercise. You have learned so much in this course and should be very proud of your progress. I hope that you realise that it's not so important that you remember how to do the steps, but more so that you're able to consult notes and follow instructions, trusting that your skills will develop with time and practice. In this exercise, we are going to make a public consultation map of the protected habitats around the Cliffs of Moher. We are going to include the following: the proposed viewing platform location, any SACs or SPAs within 2 kilometres of the proposed viewing platform, the Cliffs of Moher Centre location site and the current viewing point, a map legend, the date the map was created and the author, and the map title. To begin, reopen the environmental project from exercise 4. First of all, open QGIS. Make sure you're in the Workspaces folder and select Environmental. Now we will save a copy of it and we will give it the name Habitats. We can remove the bedrock, aquifer and river layers of the previous exercise as they are no longer necessary. To do this, right-click and select Remove Layer. We will keep the centre location point for now. Firstly, let's input the proposed platform location. Our information tells us the coordinates. So let's open Excel and input these coordinates into a table. Set up your table like before. Input the information as shown on the screen. Your table should look like this. Like before, we save the table as a CSV file. Save it into your data folder. In the File Type drop-down, select CSV or comma delimited. You can give it the name Proposed Viewing Platform. Press Save, and then press Yes to the following warning. Now exit Excel. When it asks whether you want to save it again, you can press Don't Save. Next, add the CSV table to your QGIS workspace. Select Layer, Add Delimited Text Layer. In the Data Source Manager window, browse to the file location. Select your data folder and select the CSV file. The geometry definition has updated the X field to longitude and the Y field to latitude. The CRS is WGS 84. This means that the file is being added as degrees. Press Add and Close. We will convert the CSV table point to a shapefile so that we can do some processing steps with it. We will also change the degrees to meters. Right-click, Export, Save Features As. Save it in your shapefiles folder. To change from degrees to meters, we will change the CRS from WGS 84 to Irish grid. This is important for when you will be creating a buffer around the point, as the buffer will be specified in kilometers. Press OK. Remove the CSV point file and save your workspace. Now let's download the data files for SACs and SPAs, Special Areas of Conservation and Special Protected Areas. To access the SPA files, enter the following link into your internet browser. As before, press Download and save to your data subfolder within your QGIS folder. To access the SAC files, enter this link into your internet browser. And also save this to the data folder. Next, extract the data from these zip files the same way that we did it before. Right-click on the folder, select Show in Folder, right-click on the file folder, select Extract, and you can see it has now been added to your data folder. If you double-click on it and go into it, you can see all the files. Repeat this for the SPA folder. It is good practice to open zip files and check that the files are inside. Now we can add these shapefiles to the project. Select Layer, Add Vector Layer. When browsing for the correct file, make sure to choose the SHP file format. And make sure that you're looking in the data folder. We will ignore the SACs offshore for this exercise. Select Open and Add, and then repeat this to add the SPA shapefile. Your workspace will now look something like this, although your colours will probably differ. You can drag the proposed platform location layer within the Layers panel to the top. To see what SACs and SPAs lie within 2 kilometers of the proposed platform site location, we will create a 2 kilometer buffer zone. Select Vector, Geoprocessing and Buffer. Make sure to specify that the input layer is the proposed viewing platform shapefile. Make the distance 2,000 meters. And press Run. You will see that it says Algorithm Buffer Finished. Press Close. A 2 kilometer buffer now appears around the proposed platform location. Drag the platform layer above the buffer layer. Also drag the SPAs and SACs above the buffer. Now we can see that the only SPA or SAC that is within 2 kilometers is an SPA. Use the identification tool to find out which SPA this is. Click on the SPA layer in the Layers panel and select the Identification tool. Now select the polygon. The results show in the panel to the right, and we can see that the SPA is called the Cliffs of Moher SPA. You can also press the URL to see some information about this SPA on the MPWS website. Press the X to close the results. To stop identifying things, select the Pan tool. Now we will edit the symbology of the SACs and SPAs. It is useful to follow best practice or find examples of how other people make their maps. The following example is from the Offaly County Council Tullamore River project. We can see that they have represented SACs by diagonal red hatching and SPAs by vertical purple hatching. For our map, we will replicate these symbology types. Right-click the SACs layer and select Properties. In the Symbology tab, click on Simple Fill. In Fill Style, change Solid to Be Diagonal. Now change the fill colour to red. Select the down arrow and choose the red colour. You can also use the colour wheel, or you can say choose colour and select some of these methods to choose the red that you like. Press Apply. Do the same for the stroke colour. Make it the same colour as the red of the fill. It should be the most recent colour in the colour palette. Select Apply and press OK. You can see that the SACs in your map viewer have changed. Right-click the SPA layer and select Properties. Select Simple Fill and change the fill style to vertical. Now change the fill colour to purple and change the stroke colour to the same purple. Press Apply and OK. As it happens, these colours now appear too similar to me when looking at the map. I am going to change the SPA colour to black in order to better differentiate between the two site types. You can choose whatever colours that you want for your map. The difference between the SAC and the SPA is now much more obvious. Turn off the buffer, the SAC and the SPA layers. We can see that we have 2 points, one for the proposed viewing platform and another for the Cliffs of Moher Centre location. We have also been asked to show where the current viewing point is. Let's update our CSV table for the proposed viewing platform with these 2 site locations so that all our sites are stored in the one file. Then we can add their labels in QGIS. Reopen the proposed viewing platform CSV file in Excel. Save a new version. Call it Sites. Make sure to save it as type CSV and press Save. Press Save to the warning. Add 2 rows. Input the Cliffs of Moher Centre coordinates from the table that you created previously in Exercise 4. Use Google Maps to get the coordinates for the current viewing point, which is north of Poleboy Lookout. Right-click on the location, select the decimal degrees, and enter the coordinates into its cell within your table. Press Save, say Yes, and exit Excel. You can say Don't Save. Back in your QGIS project, select Layer, and Add Delimited Text Layer. Go to your data folder, select your site CSV and select Open. Select Add and Close. Turn off your two other points and you will see that that one file now has 3 points within it. You can remove the center location and the proposed viewing platform layers. Now we will add labels to our sites. Right-click, select Properties, select Labels, Single Labels, and choose Label. Press Apply, and they have been added to our map viewer. Draw the text buffer to make them easier to see. You can change the font style. You can make it larger. And you can change the color. Remember to turn on other aspects in your map in order to see it all together. Save your workspace. Your map is now ready to be added to Print Layout. Click Project and New Print Layout. You can call this one Habitat Map. Add a map using the Add Map icon. Drag your mouse and draw a rectangle for your map. Use the Interactively Edit Map Extent icon to drag and zoom in and out of the map. Or you can also replicate what is in your map viewer here by selecting on the very first icon, Set Map Extent to match main canvas extent. Don't forget that you can also set the scale here. When you're happy with the map extent, press the Select icon. Now, when you move it, it will act like an object. Now let's add a scale bar. Select the scale bar icon. Drag your box and place the scale bar where you like it on the map. We need to explain to the reader what the lined areas in our map represents. To do this, we add a legend. Select the Add Legend tool. Drag a box for the legend. In the Item Properties tag, untick the Auto Update box. Now you can select the elements that you want to remove from the legend. Press the minus symbol to remove them. Only leave the SPA and SAC layers in the legend. Double-click their names to rename them. Scroll down within the same Item Properties tab to select a frame for the legend. Drag the legend to wherever you want to place it on your map. You can give it the title Legend. Now add the map title. It is going to be called Habitat Mapping for Public Consultation. You can make the font bigger by clicking Font and selecting a bigger size. You can also change the appearance of the style and the font type. Add your north arrow. And remember that you can change it under search directories. Also use the label tool to add the author and date. Add today's date. And put your own initials in as the author. Modify the map to make it look the way that you think it looks best. Don't forget to add a frame for your map. Also bear in mind the alignment tool. Your map should have the same elements as what is on the screen, but they can be placed wherever you think they look best, and they may have different colours, backgrounds, frames, etc. There is a final very important step. We need to give attribution to work that is not our own. For maps, we can do this by crediting where the data was sourced from. Our map in this exercise included Google Roads, as well as SACs and SPAs, which were from the National Parks and Wildlife Service. The layers themselves in QGIS often contain helpful information regarding how to credit the data source. We access this in QGIS by doing the following. Right-click the Google Roads layer in the Layers panel and select Properties. In the QGIS server information, we can see attribution information. We will add the attribution Map Data Copyright 2015 Google to our text box on our map. Now we'll check the SAC and SPA layers for their attribution information. Unfortunately, these layers actually don't include any information. So, we'll search Google to try to find out how we can attribute this data. In the second result, we can see that it's licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 4.0. Give the attribution on your map by including the following text. MPWS data licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 International (CC BY 4.0) license. It's important that the attribution is readable, but at the same time, it's not exactly the information that you really want the reader to notice when they look at your map. So you can resize it. It's quite common to put down the size to as low as 7. All you have to do now is export your map as a PDF. Firstly, you should save it. Now go to Layout and Export as PDF. You can save this one as Habitat Map. Leave everything as default and press Save. Open the file to make sure that there are no errors in the PDF production process. Well done! You have accommodated all of the requests of the task to produce a map which shows the SPAs and SACs near the Cliffs of Moher. You also edited symbology, added a CSV file with multiple points, created a legend, and attributed open source data. Congratulations! You have completed all of the mapping exercises and learned the basics of QGIS. Review all of the skills that you have now acquired listed on the goals sheet. You are now ready to use these skills to complete a project in your locality and gain your QGIS school certificate. Remember, there is no limit to how much you can do with QGIS. The more you use it, the more you will develop. You don't have to be an expert in order to be able to create very useful and attractive maps, or even just to explore your world. Until next time.